Hello, everyone, and welcome to Body Bags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Horror Heaven77, and the movie I want to talk about is, I think it's a pretty good movie. You got to be into movies about witchcraft and the occult, but if you're into that kind of thing, you probably like it. The movie came out in 1961. The version I have of it is called The City of the Dead, but it's mainly known under the title Horror Hotel. And this movie stars Christopher Lee, and who else is in this? Dennis Lotis, Betta St. John, Patricia Jessel, and Venetia Stevenson. But yeah, the movie is directed by John Moxley, who he directed the movies like directed a lot of television. He directed like The Night Stalker and things like that. And this movie is it's pretty well done. And if you get a chance to check it out, I would definitely recommend so. And one thing, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, it's actually really funny. If you like riff tracks, like Mystery Science Theater, get on Amazon Prime, and they did have it. I think you can still watch this with the riff tracks commentary on it. It's pretty funny, but still, never mind the commentary. The movie's actually still really good. Now, the movie starts with back during the Salem witch trials, and you know, one of the witches, I guess, Elizabeth Selwyn, and I believe that's who Patricia Jessel plays. Sorry. She's been accused of witchcraft, and she's been sentenced to, basically burn at the stake. And so, but of course, before she's, burned at the stake, she's got to make that curse, on the entire town that, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get you all. And, I'll have my revenge, that kind of thing. And then she's killed. Then we go into, which was supposed to be modern time, but, in the 1960s. And now we have, Nan Barlow. She's a college student, and she's taking a course learning about witchcraft and, the occult and everything. And her professor is none other than, the late, great Christopher Lee. I mean, who else? Think about it. I mean, wouldn't you? I would love to learn, about the occult and witchcraft and have Christopher Lee be my professor on it. It's like, that would be so cool, just to sit there and listen to him talk about it, just be like, tell me more, that kind of thing. But of course, like a lot of things, Nan, she's really interested in this subject, and she's really like, she really wants to investigate it further. She wants to find out what's real, what's not, what's fact, what's been made up. And so the professor that Christopher Lee plays, does it say his name in here? No, it doesn't say his character's name. But he tells her that the town of Whitewood was where, a lot of witches were, prosecuted and killed and things like that. And now, Nan, she's taking this class, she's got her fiance, she's got her brother in there, and they're not really like too into this. They're not buying into it. They think it's kind of all, it's all horse pucky, I guess you could say. But Nan, she just, she really wants to do her kind of like her thesis on it, and she wants to investigate and things like that. And so she decides she's going to make a trip to Whitewood. And, they're kind of like, do you really have to go? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go. So she goes down there, and, one of the things, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without giving too much away, but, she's driving down there, and you get some really, really good creepy moments in this. Of course, it's a movie from 1961, so, you're not going to get a lot of blood and gore. So if you're a gore hound, I'm sorry, this isn't for you. And if you're thinking this movie's going to be a zombie movie, yeah, you're going to be kind of let down on that too. I know the cover here definitely makes it look like it's a zombie movie, but trust me, it's not. So anyway, so she's driving down the Whitewood, and she sees a man walking along the side of the road, and she decides to pick him up. And of course, he's very creepy, very ominous. And, and she's talking about she wants to go to Whitewood, and she just wants to look around and investigate. She heard, about witchcraft, and then, she's asking him if he knows anything about it, and he's just kind of like giving her these odd cryptic answers and things like that. And at one point she stops, and then she looks, and she knows, the guy that she's driving with, all of a sudden he just disappears. He just, gone, vanished into thin air. And so she okay, she's kind of creeped out by this, but she's going to keep on going. So she finally gets to the town of, Whitewood. Was that it? Yeah, Whitewood. Sorry. So she gets there and she finds a hotel, basically. And it turns out that the woman running the hotel is actually Elizabeth Selwyn reincarnated. Um, so she, decides she's going to book a room and, um, let's just say some really, I try not to give too much away, folks. I'm really trying not to. Let's just say some creepy things happen. Like at one point, you do actually have kind of a risque moment in this movie because at one point, Nan, she's, relaxing in her room and she's like the girl who's kind of like the housekeeper, I guess you could say. She's kind of like, she's not communicating, but she's trying to, she doesn't really talk, but she's like trying to communicate with Nan, trying to tell her, you need to get, it's something we're trying to tell her, you're in danger, you need to get out of here before things get too bad. But Nan, she's just, kick it back and, she's trying to learn things. And like at one point she's, she's laying in bed and she hears noise and then she goes and she looks and in the main, kind of like the main area of this hotel, she sees a lot of people dancing and having a party and enjoying themselves and everything. So she decides she wants to go join in on the fun. And so she, changes her clothes and stuff. And even though there's no like nudity, but like back in the 60s, that was pretty risque to see a woman in her lingerie and, her pantyhose and things like that and, getting changed. And she gets herself dressed up. And then like when she goes back, all the people that were there are gone. Um, so things are happening. And, the thing is though, is like, Nan, she's not coming back and, red flags are starting to be raised and, her brother and her fiance, they're starting to worry about her. She was supposed to be back. She hasn't come back. What's going on? So they go to see the professor and of course, Christopher Lee, he's Christopher Lee, he's the master, he's the king, what more can you say? He plays it perfectly. He's got, he plays that authority very well, but, he also has that kind of ominous, kind of like very creepy kind of vibe to him. Like, does he know more than what he's talking about? And also too, another young lady decides she wants to go with them to go find out what happened to Nan. Basically, she's kind of like Nan's best friend. And so they decide that they're going to go and they travel to Whitewood. And then when they get there, they immediately realize like things are really out of whack here and things are really going bad. And so it's all just trying to, get out of, trying to get out of this village before anything worse happens. And so, like I said, I'm trying not to give anything away, but you kind of find out, does Christopher Lee, like, does his character know a little bit more than what he's, than what he's letting on? But so anyway, but yeah, this movie, it's a fun movie. It actually runs at a pretty quick pace. It's only like 78 minutes, I believe. No more than 70 minutes. So it goes at a pretty fast clip. Yeah, the movie is very well done. You can see glorious black and white. And, so yeah, as a matter of fact, there's the part where Nan, she's picking up the hitchhiker. There's Nan with Christopher Lee, the professor. You have Elizabeth Selwyn at the beginning of the movie. She's, this is where she's being taken out to be burned. You got the, you got the village, beautiful, beautiful sets, beautiful, creepy. You got the smoke, the fog machines going, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just very beautifully done, very great gothic horror film. So, like I said, some genuinely creepy scenes. And if you're into, you got to be into movies like about witchcraft and the occult. And if you are, then this movie would be for you. If you're not, then yeah, you probably might skip it. But like I said, don't go into this because, don't go into this thinking it's going to be a bloodbath. Don't go into this thinking it's going to be, zombies and things like that. Even though, like I said, I know the cover here would definitely like fool you into thinking that, this would totally be a zombie movie, like something like an Italian, Dawn of the Dead ripoff or something. Kind of makes me wonder what VCI was thinking when they put this out. But also too, as to the Blu-ray, it looks really good. The picture quality is beautiful, and I got to be honest, I'm usually one of those kinds like I don't really buy a ton of black and white movies on Blu-ray. Just for me personally, I don't really see much of a difference. You know, when it comes to black and white films, I don't see much of a difference between standard definition and high definition. But I'm glad I got this version of it, because usually any other, because this is a nice cleaned up print, and usually like any other version of this you get would be like on a cheap, like, one of those cheap like Echo Bridge or Mill Creek, DVDs where the picture quality is really horrible and stuff. This year you get a nice cleaned up print of it, and it looks really good. And also too, it's kind of cool that you got, video interview with Christopher Lee, and Christopher Lee does a commentary on here, so that alone is worth it. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend it. City of the Dead. It's a really good movie, and I enjoy it. So hopefully you do too. So anyway, that's going to do it. So if anybody took the time to watch this video, I thank you for doing it. I honestly appreciate you for doing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Body Bags channel. We got, there's a different review every day of the week. I'm the Saturday reviewer. We got great guys. They're all doing great stuff, and, fun videos to watch. So anyway, so yeah, anyway, take care, and I'll see you next week. Have a good night. Bye-bye.